So the Bored Ape Yacht Club has accomplished something truly unique. Although projects that came before it, like CryptoPunks, put NFTs on the map, the Bored Ape project really brought NFTs into the mainstream and has solidified the NFT movement as a financial instrument that will be here for the long haul. And beyond the project proving the strength and usefulness of NFTs, owning a Bored Ape is just cool, right? I mean, you have celebrities like Mark Cuban and Steph Curry and Kevin Hart owning apes, and if you're lucky enough to be a holder, then that means you're part of this exclusive club of elites. However, most are just not in a position to fork over 6 to 8 figures to own a JPEG, so if you're in that camp, your best bet is to jump on an NFT project that will be the next Bored Ape. Besides, anyone will agree that having one now is cool, but the best time to get an ape would have been from the start. And the best time to start hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel is right now, because today you're going to discover the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. You're going to see why the Bored Ape project blew up and why a similar NFT project has the same potential. And make sure you stay to the end, because I'm going to share a project with you that have the makings to absolutely explode. So let's jump in. So at this point, you may be ready for me to just point you in a direction of an NFT project and have you move on with your day. And I'm going to present a project. However, I'm going to give you something even better. I want to arm you with a framework for evaluating NFT projects and highlight some important aspects to look for, so when you do hear about the next Bored Ape project, you understand why that may be possible. I mean, it would be easy for me to just spout off some already established blue chip NFTs and tell you that those could be the next Bored Ape, but I'm not going to do that, because that's just obvious and that wouldn't necessarily help you. Instead, I want to help you to find a project that is still in its early stages so you can enjoy the, lower entry point and those sweet juicy gains. I mean, think about it. At the time of this video, the floor on the Bored Ape project is around 122 ETH, which is like $365,000. I know, ridiculous, right? But just a year ago, you could have bought one, at mint for about $200. And, that's the type of opportunity that I want to uncover together with you. And one more thing, please don't confuse any of this with financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Great. So, the number one factor that you need to be looking for when hunting for the next Bored Ape project is, number one, the utility. So, the NFT market is evolving rapidly, and what has worked in the past won't necessarily work in the future. And this is an important point, because all new technology evolves. The launch of the Bored Ape project was sort of like man discovering fire. I mean, at first it was so mesmerizing that just looking at it was enough, but then we learned to cook with it and forge metals in it. And so there's always a period where we ask ourselves, okay, now that we have this, how do we use this? And that's exactly where we are with NFTs in general. I mean, sure, profile pictures are cool to look at, but what else can they do? And so that's why there's so many failed projects out there, because they just focused on creating the next digital avatar and not really thinking about a legit roadmap that provides usefulness to its holders. So finding a project that has a strong utility, or again, usefulness, is one of the most important factors for the success and longevity of an NFT project. And the next Bored Ape Yacht Club will definitely have their utility figured out and defined. I mean, even the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club at one point determined they needed utility, and that's why holders have already received perks like exclusive events and early access to other projects, and of course, the highly publicized ape coin that made the already rich holders even richer. And that is also why successful projects that recently launched, like Moonbirds, went out of their way to highlight that they are a utility-driven project and went to lengths explaining why their utility has value. So, I mean, utility drives a project, but this next factor that I want to share with you may actually be equally as important. And that is number 2, the team. So if you've ever seen movies like Ocean's 11 or any of the Avengers, then you understand that to accomplish something significant, you not only need a strong team with a colorful background, but each individual needs to know their job well and be good at what they do. So a huge issue I've seen with other NFT projects is the failure to deliver on their objectives. I'm always suspicious of a project that promises, like a metaverse attachment or a gaming aspect, because I know that although this is super attractive, it requires a ton of resources to actually make happen. And so I want to know, if the team has built games before, and how deep into development is the project, and do they have proper funding before I become a believer? Because there are NFTs in my wallet right now from projects that are failing to live up to their promises. And I mean, you could say that there are rug pulls out there, and I mean, you would be right sometimes, but also sometimes it could be that the goals of the projects are just too lofty and just really not attainable for the team. A couple of points that really fascinated me about the Bored Ape team, and I believe added to their success, begins with the narrative created around the project. One of the founders was a writer before launching the project, and so, the backstory of the futuristic apes that, got rich off of crypto and now are just bored, super creative. And that storyline offers an interesting layer to the project and helps drive connection with the community. And then you have, of course, the programmers who should be acknowledged, but then, there are the artists, and the main artist, Seneca, who really created the visual identity for the NFT. In an interview, the founders mentioned that they originally paid around $40,000 for the ape illustrations. This is an important point because the attention to the storyline and the significant investment speaks of the founders' intentions. They believed in the project, and with that kind of skin in the game, it shows their belief in themselves to deliver. Since then, the company has done licensing deals with celebrities and major brands like Adidas, and has done a great job of keeping the brand relevant and the product inventive. The point being that the next Bored Ape Yacht Club will have a strong team, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to believe that the team can execute on any of the promises that are made. And with a good team and with thoughtful utility, a project can usually cultivate this last important factor. And that is number 3, the community. Whether a project has an established community like Gary V's VFriends, or the project organically grows the community like many others out there, the community is what really drives success. I mean, not only is the community responsible for making purchases, but unlike traditional products, the community actually gets rewarded for promoting the project. I mean, think about it. When a project does well, the prices for the NFTs increases. Now, with the Bored Ape project, we can point to the fact that having celebrities peppered throughout the community definitely pushes interest and consistently moves the chains on the floor price. However, the community was pretty strong even before Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon owned one. So early off, this project was destined to win. So, the next Bored Ape project will undoubtedly have a strong community backing it, and it will be on the shoulders of those diehards. The growth and sustainability of the project will rest. Now, there are other minor traits the next ape project will have that, we could talk about, but since I don't want you to be bored, I want to share one last important prediction with you before sharing a potential project. I believe that the next Bored Ape project will in fact not live on the Ethereum network, but will rise up from a competing blockchain. Hear me out. So Ethereum currently is the gold standard for launching an NFT project right now. But as I mentioned, things are evolving in the space, and Ethereum is slowly losing its hold on the market, mainly because of their ridiculous gas fees. For a while now, the majority of new NFT consumers have sort of been priced out of Ethereum NFTs because it's hard to digest paying $300 for gas alone. And the OGs in the space could honestly care less. It's kind of like you never hear a Ferrari owner complaining about a $5,000 oil change. But I believe this is all changing due to the recent Other Side NFT launch by Yuga Labs. This launch was so highly anticipated that network congestion was inevitable, but I don't think anyone predicted the $6,000 to $15,000 gas fees. And to add insult to injury, there were buyers whose transactions didn't even go through, but they were still charged gas. I mean, imagine losing $15,000 for nothing. That's just crazy. But crazy is probably what was needed to sound the alarm on the problem with Ethereum NFTs. Now, quick side note. I don't hate Ethereum. I'm a holder, but I just can't support senseless money waste. I just can't. So Yuga Labs has already spoke about building their own blockchain for future launches, and I think more projects will follow suit. Now, building a blockchain is an uphill battle that comes with many challenges, and why build when you can launch on an already established and stable one? So to me, Solana and Cardano are the front runners to pick up the ashes because they already have an NFT footprint. And of course, others could emerge too, but I really like Solana and Cardano. Now, I like both Solana and Cardano, and I am a holder of both, but I like Cardano a little bit more for the long run, only because Solana has been forced to pause the chain numerous times, and that's sort of a concern to me. So I can really see a Cardano NFT emerging and capturing the attention of the masses and reaching the same or even higher heights than the Bored Ape project. And so as promised, I'm going to share with you one project that I like that I see having Bored Ape potential in the long run. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy this NFT project, but I see that it checks the boxes and is really positioned to take off. So I'm using this project as an example of the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. The project is on the Cardano blockchain and it's called Clumsy Ghost. Now, I first came across this project pre-launch because a famous influencer was following them. And by the way, one of the best ways to find NFT projects or even new crypto projects for that matter is to see, which top influencers follow the project. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, I did my due diligence and became interested, but over time, I've connected more and more with the project. To start, the NFT is an animated image like a GIF, which I felt was unique and a little different from, the typical images that are out there. But in terms of utility, the project had some basic ideas at first, but since has graduated to a play-to-mint NFT game, which I think is really cool. I mean, think Minecraft for NFTs. This has the potential to be huge because gaming in the NFT space is predicted to absolutely explode over the next few years. And with a proven framework like Minecraft with a twist, I see unlimited potential for growth. Also, the team is solid and has shown the capabilities to keep to their word. The founders are very active in Discord and they do a really good job of keeping the community up to date with their progress. And it's that small gesture that has rewarded the project with a strong community. I mean, you can see the community growing on social media, but the real evidence to me is the growing number of sales. Now, minting a Clumsy Ghost was around $50. However, recently, I've seen some ghosts going for above a few $1,000s, which is already a great return, but I still see higher heights ahead. So again, I'm not telling you to buy into this project. In fact, I'm not telling you to buy into any NFT project. NFTs are risky and the market doesn't really follow any sort of traditional logic. So, get into this at your own risk. But if you're still silly enough to jump into this market and you're hoping to land yourself a blue chip NFT like a Bored Ape, then consider the factors that I shared in this video, because let me tell you, the next Bored Ape project will definitely hold true to them all. And consider this, that the next major NFT project just might sprout up in an unlikely place. But let me know your thoughts. I mean, do you agree that, the next Bored Ape project will have all the traits that I shared in this video, or did I miss any? Please let me know in the comments. Also, Don't spam me, but what legit project should we be looking at as the next Bored Ape project? Please let me know in the comments. And lastly, I want to thank you for your time. Your time is so valuable to me, so I do hope you found value. And until next time.